Shanti. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday Wellness with Brahma Kumaris. And last week we saw about love. What is love? And I was thinking maybe today we can just dive in a little more deeper into what is love. But before we start that, let's pause in meditation. So take a deep breath and release. Take another deep breath and breathing in love. And I let go of all the restlessness and dislikes. Love is a fragrant energy that I share with myself and others. I have been looking for love outside, in relationships, from people, but I realize that I am love. I am a being of love, and as a being of love, I radiate love. Take a deep breath and remind the self that I am love. I don't depend on love from outside. I am love. I have the capacity to generate love within me because I now know the source of love, source of pure love, unconditional love. Is my supreme father, the supreme being. I call him Baba, the father, the word Baba carries so much love. The love just that is through belonging. I belong to the one I belong to the ocean of love. Feel yourself diving into this ocean of love. I go deeper and deeper into this ocean of love. Find myself surrounded by love, the love that is pure, the love that is power, this power of love helps me transform my deepest bruises, my deepest pains. God's love is healing. See yourself in this ocean of love, enveloped by the beauty, by the healing energy of God's love. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. The healing power of God's love. God's love is so healing that the purity of that love can actually reach to our deepest core inside. Like in the brain, we have the blood brain barrier, but nothing can cross that blood brain barrier. In the same way, in the soul, only pure love, unconditional love, which we receive from God, can cross that barriers that I have created. And these barriers that probably I have created, it's not an overnight wall, it's not an overnight barrier, but they are created over a period of time through my journey. And probably I might remember in this birth that people have broken my heart, or people that I trusted have, you know, given me this being have been dishonest with me, have broken that trust. Sometimes we feel that I have lost the capacity to love, to give love, to receive love. It's because of the pain that I'm carrying within, the pain that I have experienced probably in some other lifetime or in this lifetime. And what we did was we started creating barriers, and no love, nothing could pass through that barrier. And what we started doing was, because of this, we started thinking that love is conditional. If I give love, I'll receive love, or I have to receive more than what I can give or what I should give. Or I have to keep receiving first than to even open up a little bit and start sharing my love. Right. So what we did is we created conditions on sharing love. And where there are conditions, we know that it's not real. It's not coming from truth. It's not coming from that I am love, but it's coming from a place where I have to give love because I'm receiving so much. So now I have to give something in return. You know, there's a very famous song, What is Love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. So, what is love? Everybody keeps asking this question, what is love? What is true love? And one of the things that goes is hurt. I want to protect myself from getting hurt, so I don't even want to experience love. Now, we have to understand this that there's a lot of difference between human love and divine love. There's a lot of difference between a human love and divine love. A human love comes with expectations. Human love comes with conditions. Human love comes with a give and take. Human love is never enough. But divine love is beyond all of this. Divine love is altruistic love because God doesn't expect anything from us. God doesn't yeah, divine love is unconditional. Absolutely. Right? God doesn't expect anything from us. We've been, again, conditioned about love since our childhood. And even with our expression of love with God, and we've been told that we have to do this if we want to receive from God. If I want to receive love from God, I have to do this, right? I have to fast or I have to go to the temple. Many times parents tell their children just because they want them to come to the temple with them, they would say, you want God to give you love, you want God to listen to you, you have to come to temple. That's when God will give you, right? So since childhood, we have used threats, right? Or we were receiving these threats uh, to, that God will only love me if I do something like that. And, I know when I used to fast a lot, I started fasting when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And, I started fasting because my dad was not keeping well, and someone said that for uh, a wife fasts for the long life of her husband because they fast on Mondays for a long life for the husband. So when I as a kid heard that, I'm like, yes, okay, then I will start fasting on Mondays for Shiv to ask for long life for my dad. So I started fasting the Monday fast, and everybody used to say, "Oh, young girls they fast because they want to get a good husband." But I was like, "No, I'm fasting for my dad for his long life." Um, so I fasted very young. I started fasting, and as I started growing up, it became more and more out of fear. um it became I started increasing my days of fast. So, it used to be Mondays, then I started fasting for the Purnima, the full moon day, and then I started fasting for the Ekadashi, which is the 11th day um after the new moon or full moon. I started fasting for the Navratri that come like twice a year. So it kept on increasing, right? So in any given month, I would usually fast for like 10 days would be my fastings, right? So um it was like that. And when I look back, I realized that I was actually doing it out of fear to receive God's love, to receive God's protection, because it was told that if you want to receive God's love and God's protection, you have to go through this. You have to surrender something, you have to renounce. And one of the things that we could renounce was eating. So renounce food and you will experience God's love. It is only much later that I understood that God, as my parent, would not want to see me go hungry to an extent where I was almost taken to the hospital. But I was not ready to leave the fast because of the fear. So I understood it much later that God doesn't want me to suffer. Love is not suffering. When I love someone, I don't suffer in that love, nor do I let the person whom I love, nor will I want that person to suffer. Just underline this, it's so deep. Love is not suffering. If I truly love, I will not suffer because of that love, and I will not let the other suffer because I love you so much. And God doesn't want to see his children suffering. So it's not about renouncing food or going hungry to receive God's love, but what's the return of love is to love back. So what does God expect? What does God want? It's just love. And any action that I perform with love, I will receive the fruit of that action. Love is like sowing. When I'm sowing something, when I'm sowing the seed of love, the tree that will grow out of it has to be love, will be a giving tree. No? Just today, I read something so interesting that if you do because of okay, what I read was you cannot. I'm just trying to read it. You cannot do anything well from an empty well. You cannot do anything well out of an empty well. You understand? So if I am empty and I'm trying to give you my love, I'll not be able to. And that's why our love became conditional, because we started operating from emptiness within. So what happened is when I forget that I'm a soul and I start thinking that I'm this body, I'm this person, I'm related to this person, because of this subtle ego of body consciousness that has formed like a layer in the soul, this layer of body consciousness has created a duality inside. Okay. And this duality is that, am I love? Am I peace? Am I this? Or do I want this? So when I start operating, when I think that I want, that means I'm operating from an emptiness. And the more I operate from emptiness, the more I want. And what happened during that process is because I want more and more, I started suffering more. And because I am not feeling full, the person with which I'm in a relationship with, the person with who I'm in relationship with, is also receiving suffering from me because now I am getting attached to what I'm receiving from you. I don't want to let go of what I'm receiving from you because I need more and more from you. So that love has changed into attachment and has become like a bondage. And that attachment is giving me suffering. We have heard this, right? That if you love someone, you set them free. And it's really setting them free is still secondary. It's actually I set myself free. I set myself free from that suffering. So the only way that I can fill this emptiness in the soul, and remember, it could not be just this birth, it could be from previous births too. And to settle that emptiness that I've been carrying with me for, birth after birth, probably, or even in this lifetime, only God's love can heal me. Only this rush of divine love can heal me. It is said that when you go to the surgeon or when you go to see a doctor, tell them the truth, right? Don't hide anything from your doctors and lawyers, right? Because they are the ones who are going to help me heal, who will defend me. The lawyer will defend me, defend my case. But a doctor or a surgeon is going to help me to heal. And unless they know exactly everything about, the pain I have, the suffering I have, or the symptoms I have, they will not be able to heal me. So God is that supreme surgeon whose energy heals the soul. Doctors can heal the body, no? They can heal the pains and the diseases of the body. But who can heal the diseases or illness of the soul? So people now talk about, mental health and mental wellness. And we do have, certain psychologists or psychotherapists and counselors who help with healing the mind, with giving us the right perspective or certain thoughts and all of that. So yes, that helps, right? But I have to make it like a practice. It has to be a part of my daily routine. And one of the big things that everybody's talking about nowadays is meditation. Make meditation as a part of your daily routine. Because remember, challenges, um, change is constantly happening. If I don't create meditation as a part of my daily routine, I will not have power to handle those challenges and change as they happen. It's not like, what we did in devotion, that if we had or if we needed something, we would go to the temple, just pray for it. Or during exams, we would just do extra prayers and feel that, yeah, I will pass or I'll go through this. Um, it's not that way. It's about creating the inner capacity to be full, so that I become a transmitter for God, for God's energy. So now, because I'm full, I have no suffering, because I have no expectations from any human being. Because I'm full, being connected to my parent, my Supreme Father, I can give. It's just like, when you are connecting to the FM channel, FM radio, and say you are, connecting to, say, 87.5, When I connect to that frequency 87.5, I'm able to hear the music. But does that mean that there was nothing happening on that frequency? There was nothing happening? No, it's happening. But I had not connected to that frequency. I was on some other frequency. And maybe uh, when I was connected to some other frequency, it was serving me. Um, and then I changed, and then I changed, I changed and changed. I keep changing the frequency because it's temporarily serving me. But what is frequency of God? Ultimately, I have to connect to God's frequency because that is going to sustain me for a long time. So meditation is nothing but connecting to frequency of God. And when I connect to that frequency, and when the soul hears their favorite song playing, song of love playing, song of belonging playing, we become full. So it's a process. It's not an overnight, transformation or an overnight thing that happens. But I have to keep tuning into that frequency. I have to start accumulating in my account. I have to make it a daily practice, not just a daily practice where, okay, I meditated 5 minutes in the morning. Okay, is that enough? Out of 24 hours in a day, and if we are awake for, say, about 16, 17 hours, um, is 5 minutes or 10 minutes enough of charging? Would you charge your phone for just 5 or 10 minutes a day and say, okay, it's enough charging? No, right? Because in today's time, we use our phones more. There are a lot of background apps also running that takes energy. So, in the same way, inside, there are a lot of background apps running. 5-10 minutes of charging a day is not going to be enough. So, what I need to do is I make God as my constant companion. So there's a difference between having company and making someone a companion. A company I can like, or I can say, oh, I'm tolerating this person's company, or I don't like, right? Company is something that I I like, I don't like, I try to adjust because now I'm in the company. But a companion I can choose. I can choose my companion. A companion is someone who's very extremely close. A companion is someone that I can share everything with. A companion is someone I trust 100%. So, how do I make God as my companion? How do I make God as my companion? So, couple of things. One, connecting with the relationship. So, when I say God is my companion, companion is a relationship. So we've been saying God, Bhagwan, right? And that's when the Brahma Kumaris we say Baba, because the word Baba is father, and it's such a loving word, Baba. I was very young when I was introduced to Baba in my life. I was, about 8, 9 years old, around the same time, 8, 9 years old. And our very close family friend who was our family doctor also in India, in Bombay, he had started, meditation with the Brahma Kumaris. And he used to have this picture that you see right here. And every time he would say, Baba is going to take care, Baba is going to heal. So he would point here. And, as a kid, I was a little shy kid. So I didn't ask too many questions. So when he said Baba, I thought this human is Baba and he's calling God. And in my mind, at that age, I knew that a human is not God. And I said, oh, they are saying, every place you go, they say that their founder is God, and they are here also. They are saying the same thing, that the founder is God. And because in Bombay especially, there are so many Babas and Sai Baba and Satya Sai Baba and this Baba, so many Babas. So for me, the word Baba, I couldn't relate, and I thought, okay, they are calling him Baba now. He is God. So that kind of withdrew me a little bit. And then of course, we moved, and my our connection with the doctor uncle was broken for a couple of years because we moved. Um, but it is now that I understand the power of the word Baba, because he's not God, but God is this light. And even though we see this light as this big aura of light and all of that, but God is not this big light. But just as the soul is tiny point of light, God is also that tiny point of light. Just this tiny point of eternal light. We show the aura of God's light is shown, you know, so big, um, because God, God's energy is ever pure, ever radiant. The ocean means unlimitedness. So just as the physical parent of this physical body looks physical, looks the same, right? A human being cannot be born from an animal, right? A body, right? They will, no. So, in the same way, the parent of the soul has to be the same light. So, I am a soul, this eternal point of light, energy. My parent, same eternal point of light, energy. And there are so many things we've heard about God, that God is everywhere, God is in you, God is in me. Now, really, if God, the ocean, the unlimited love is everywhere, then how would all of us be? Will there be any hatred in this world? Will we see any wars happening? Will we see any people killing the other? There won't be any hatred if God, the ocean of love, resides in me, resides in you, resides in everyone. So, what has happened is God doesn't reside in us. Now, why we were told this? We were told this so that we respect each other, so that we respect and we don't harm each other, thinking that, oh, God is in you. Now I shouldn't harm you. But what happened with that? It's like really, putting God everywhere in stone, pebbles, this table, chair. God is everywhere in living, non living, everywhere. Um, what has that created? Right? So that has created more and more confusion in people. Right? If God is everywhere, then why do we have temples? Why are we going to the temple only? If God is everywhere, I can just start worshipping a table because God is in this table. Right? So when we go into this understanding of who God is, um, we have to understand that God cannot be in any non-living thing. God is not in you and me. God is God is my parent, this eternal being who's ready to shower upon me, who's radiating, because I carry God's DNA. If God is love, I am also love, but now I have forgotten the way to love. I have forgotten the meaning of love, because I became empty. And I became empty because I started thinking that I forgot that I am God's child and I carry the DNA of love. And I started thinking that I am so and so, and this body consciousness, the ego, that this is who I am, started demanding love, okay, and created more emptiness. So, there's another thing, right? That even if when we look at physical uh, attainments or physical accumulation in terms of, say, wealth or money, right? Some people have, but they are not able to give. So one is being empty, that I don't have, and therefore I cannot give. But some people have, and yet they don't give. Have you met some people like that? I know a few. They say that, oh, why should I give to the temples? Why should I donate? Why should I give here? Why should I, give to the poor? I am poor. I want from everybody. Why should I give them? I am poor. And they have so much. So what happens there is, even though they have it, but what they lack is, there is a depletion of the spiritual quotient, the spiritual energy, which even stops them from sharing or giving. Do you understand? Um, so there is some emptiness, right? So some people could have, um, some people receive so much love in their life, but they still don't have the capacity to give, right? And that could happen because they don't have the spiritual, the spiritual capacity to receive, to accept, to hold on to what they're receiving. Even, sometimes, even I have seen people, even, on this journey, um, they practice meditation, but still are not very open to love. So I have to check, what is that barrier? Have I built my barrier so big that even God's love is not able to penetrate? What am I blocking? What am I trying to protect that I'm not even allowing the surgeon to take care of it? You know? So really, I have to let, and the meditation that we just practiced, just see yourself enveloped in God's love. So that's the way, God as my companion. So as you move around during the day, so you do your meditation in the morning, but during the day, as you're moving around, feel God's light right above you. Just as you see in this picture right here, you see God's light right above. God's light has become like a canopy above me, and God is my constant companion. And if you say Baba, it's creating that relationship and just this feeling of love. So Baba is right above me. Many times I keep checking inside and I keep asking, Baba, you're there, right? Baba, you're there with me, no? Baba, you're there. And then you start feeling as if, yeah, I'm there. You feel different. You feel Baba's energy. Hmm? Like, many times when we're doing a class or when we are meeting, and if someone is sharing, um, where we have to advise them or something, we really have to invoke God's energy, because if I am trying to give advice to someone, there'll be a mixture. But when I invoke Baba as my companion and, just there, I'm just there as a transmitter of God's energy. Baba is doing everything. I'm just a transmitter. I'm listening, but actually inside, I'm like talking to Baba constantly. Baba, what does the soul need? You know what the soul needs. So I'm just there. You shower. You shower what the soul needs. So when I start operating from that consciousness, you will see miracles happening. You will see, you will see yourself doing things that you thought you didn't even have the capacity to do. And that is God's energy flowing through you. It's making things happen. That's the power of God's love, divine love. So I have to open my heart to this divine love. And where there is love, there is tolerance. I will tolerate. So next week we'll talk about tolerance probably. What is tolerance? What do I need to tolerate? So usually I say, oh, I tolerate this one and I tolerate this one. But do I even tolerate? I have to tolerate my own behavior, no? My own habits, my own thought patterns. And when that doesn't happen, we feel irritated and angry. Hmm. So maybe next week we'll touch base on tolerance and understanding tolerance with love. But the homework for you for this week is just open your heart to receiving God's love. God's love, Baba's love is right there, right there. The ocean of love is just pouring love. Just feel it. Open yourself to receiving it. Don't shut yourself. Don't be too tight. Don't be uh, closed. Because God's love will only heal. God's love will only heal. So let's end with meditation. And again, I want you to just open your heart. I'm Baba's beloved child. For all these years, I was operating out of body conscious love. A love that I thought was real. But in fact, I was demanding love because of some emptiness inside. In the process, I forgot the method of truly opening my heart to receiving love, receiving God's love. Visualize Baba right above you as a canopy. God's canopy of light is my protection. It's a canopy of love. Being inside this canopy, I feel the belonging to the one, the source of divine love. I'm not scared anymore. I'm open to receiving God's love. Fill me, heal my heart. I feel, I experience this rush of pure divine love into my being, removing all the scars, the pain and suffering. I become full, transmit this love to the world. Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining. Remember to take Baba as your companion just above you and be open to receiving God's love. This way, I'll be open to receiving others' love too, because now I'm not judging their love. I'm not operating from an emptiness because I'm full. So I can receive their love and I'll share more love. And this definitely changes dynamics of relationships. No? Because now I take 60 and I give 20. But now I will take 20 and I'll give 60. So the whole dynamics changes because I'm getting full from Baba. So keep becoming full and radiate God's love to the world, to everyone, because really everyone needs love at this time. Pure love, unconditional love. All right. So have a great week. I will see you next Wednesday. I'll share the recording. This will go on YouTube, and I'll share the link with you all to watch it again. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I'll see you. Have a good night. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.